Is this 13 Dingbat Lane? Is this Dingbat Lane, 13 Dingbat Lane? I'm looking for Nelson Aguilar. I can't find him anywhere. You see him?
Yo, everybody, how you doing? And welcome to the divisional round of the playoffs prediction video, where we're going to talk about the divisional round, and I'm going to give you my predictions on what I think is going to happen. Now, I am not going to talk about the Eagles and Falcons in this video. That will be a separate video to come out later. But this is the other three games. I want to talk about it, let you know what I think, and we'll see. Now, last week, I did a horrible job. I was 1-3. I took the Chiefs, big mistake. Then I took the Rams, another big mistake. Took the Jags, that was good. Then I thought I was going to outsmart the world and be some smart dude, walking around, because I took the Panthers in a big upset because they lost twice to the Saints. It was going to be great. Dingbat! Total dingbat I was. The Saints win. They beat the Panthers. I look like a dingbat that I am. So, this week I hope to do better. Hope to rebound from a horrible week. There's no other way to put it. So I want to start with the first game. The Tennessee Titans at the New England Patriots. Now the New England Patriots, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, New England, Foxborough, 5 Super Bowl champions. When you start hearing those names and those things, you think, how the hell can the Titans win this game? I mean, it's going to be really, really hard. You just think they're out of their league. But they're going to have to go. They're going to have to play the New England Patriots. Now, they came back against the Chiefs, who I thought really gave the game away in typical Andy Reid, Alex Smith fashion. But, you know what? They did do some good things. For instance, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry had a fantastic game. 23 carries, 156 yards, 6.8 yards a carry. I mean, that's tremendous. That's tremendous. And I thought Mariota, he struggled in that game, especially passing pretty much through the whole game. He did have a touchdown to himself, which was pretty cool. But overall, I thought through the air, he struggled. But he did use the other dimension he has, and that is to run. When he started to do that, it really kind of got them rolling. So Mariota finished 19 of 31, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. But he also had 8 rushes for 46 yards, and that was big. So, the thing with Tennessee, the way that they win this game, they're going to really have to play their best. They're going to have to play their best game of the year. They're going to have to be able to run the ball effectively like they did last week, keep Brady off the field, and I think Mariota is going to have to be better. He's going to have to be better through the air. When he's got an opportunity to run, he's got to run. But it's going to be very hard, But who knows? I mean, look, we saw Mariota, a very different quarterback last year than he was this year. If this game somehow gave him confidence, he feels good about something, maybe he comes out, he starts ripping it, and they make a game of this. But right now, I think New England's too good. I think they've been there, they've done it, they know what to do. They got Brady, they got Belichick, and I'm sorry. I think New England, in the end, is going to win this game. So I'm going to take the New England Patriots. I would love to see Tennessee, pull something off, but I think it's too hard. So that leads us to the next game. The next game I want to talk about are the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I always say this. I don't have a second favorite team in football. I don't. But I do have a soft spot in my heart for Jacksonville. My family, will end up in that area at some point. I like to see football continue to be there. And if they sell out and they sell tickets and they have fans coming to the games because they're winning, it means it stays, and that's good for me. So I always have a soft spot for the Jaguars. Now, that defense of the Jaguars, it is nasty. That is some nasty defense. I love that defense. I love watching that defense. They're awesome. They're awesome. And pretty much they shut down Tyrod Taylor and the Buffalo Bills. I mean, you think Tyrod Taylor was 17 of 37, 134 yards. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing. You know what I mean? McCoy, who was hurt, by the way, he had 75 yards, 19 carries, but They shut them down. So now they're going to go to Pittsburgh, who they already beat. In Pittsburgh, they beat them already. So they got to feel like they can beat them. But in that lies the problem, in my opinion, because Pittsburgh is not going to overlook Jacksonville for playing New England the week after. They lost to this team. Big Ben had a horrible game, bunch of interceptions, 4 or 5. They get 5 interceptions. Look, Pittsburgh is going to want to come out and revenge that loss. They are going to be ready to play, Jacksonville. Now, I think Jacksonville's defense will keep them in this game as long as they can, But to me, it's going to come down to their offense. Can they run the ball? Can Fournette have a big day? Keep that Pittsburgh Steelers offense off the field. Can Bortles show up and play a good game? Bortles, he had a few good games during the year, but last week in the playoffs, he was, Bortles was 12 of 23, 87 yards. That ain't going to cut it against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's going to have a bigger game. But if their offense can actually move the ball, score, they got a chance in this game because their defense will keep them in this game most of the time. So I like their defense to keep them in, but in the end, I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I just think with that offense and having lost to Jacksonville at home in Pittsburgh already this year, Pittsburgh's going to be ready for this game, and I think Jacksonville, I think their season ends here. Now, I'm sorry, hate to do that. Shout out to UCF Jaguar. I know he loves those Jags. Jags had a great year. I hope they go out to get Kirk Cousins or somebody, but they're going to be a good team down the road. But I think that they're in trouble against Pittsburgh. So now I want to talk about the NFC matchup. I want to talk about the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Now, the New Orleans Saints, I really thought would lose last week because it's really hard to beat a team 3 times. Carolina had their chance at the end. Then they had a stupid penalty, and they basically took themselves out of it. So, New Orleans is going to head to Minnesota, where they played earlier in the year, and they got killed. They got crushed. But I don't think this is the same New Orleans team. So, in this game, being in Minnesota, and with Minnesota's defense, I really like that matchup. I like the matchup of Minnesota's defense against New Orleans' offense. I think it's a good fit for Minnesota. So, I think Minnesota's defense is going to be able to handle that offense. And Keenum, who is, I'm still iffy on as a quarterback. I'm not sure what he got, but he's playing at home. They have a good defense, good running game at home. I think it's enough for Minnesota to get this done and beat the New Orleans Saints. So I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings to win. Now, if Minnesota was playing Dallas, then I would have to say Dallas. If Dallas was playing Pittsburgh, I would pick Dallas. If it was New England playing Dallas, I would pick Dallas. I would always pick Dallas because they're the greatest team to ever exist. Don't you know that? No, I'm kidding. Dallas stinks. They still ain't made the playoffs. Why am I saying it? Because I just had to get a Dallas stinks in this video somehow. I have to remind Cowboy fans. Sorry, I know it pisses you off, but it's just fun. It's just fun. So, with my picks this week, I'm going to take New England, Pittsburgh, and Minnesota. No upsets there. All the home teams. And that's kind of how I see it's going to go. So that's one game left to do. And I will do that on this next video. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.